Indeed, lads, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I have for you guys something very special. This 3-5-2 formation. It's custom tactics and it's player instructions that go perfectly along with the formation itself. I'm telling you right now, this formation does absolute wonders for me and it will for you. So stick around to see the gameplay as well to prove why and how this formation works so well for me as it will for you eventually when you stick around for this video. Let's get into it. So today we're only going to be focusing on that 3-5-2 formation alone. So getting into it defensively, the defensive style is set to balanced. We don't mess around with that. The width set to 50 and the depth here, guys, set to 72. It must be set to 72. Why this is because in this game of FIFA 22, your defensive line tends to drop into your 6 or inside your 18-yard box, which kind of allows your opponent to play in front of it and score easy goals. But what this 72 depth does is push your defensive line a bit higher, prevents it from dropping in there. And I don't know why this works, but a lot of the pros are doing it as well, setting it to 72, and anything above prevents that drop back thing from happening, which a lot of people are annoyed about. So make sure to keep it like this. Let's get into some clips now and show you guys what the defensive shape will look like though in this 3-5-2 formation. Defensively, you're gonna have your 3 attackers up front pressing against your opponent at any moment that you like, your 2 strikers and your center attacking mid right below them. Your 2 center defensive mids, in this case one of them winning the ball there, FIVERR, will sit in between your back line of 5 and your 3 attackers. I said a back line of 5, I know it's a back 3, but it really becomes a back 5 as you can see right now. Roberto Carlos, my left mid in this case, and Dest on the far side, my right mid as well, dropping in as like an outside wing back. And as you can see, my opponent has nowhere to go. Moving on to the offensive side now, guys. Build up play will be set to balanced and the chance creation will be set to direct passing now. This must be set to direct passing. This kind of ties into something I was talking about earlier with the 72 depth. If your opponent does not have 72 depth and above, this direct passing tactic will push their defensive line back into their 18 or inside their 6, and that will create more opportunities for you in front of goal to score. Building up in the 3-5-2, guys, is something very special. It is so easy to do so. You have the 2 defensive mids giving you options down the middle and 2 outside mids giving you options out wide to build up very easily. But what I really want to focus on with you guys and show you is the 2 defensive mids in this play were really controlling the game and dictating the tempo. They're going to be the guys who link the defensive line to the attackers and getting forward very quickly. We'll go through those guys and out wide. You can see a bit of composure now with Dembele. We cut it back and we find our 2 unmarked defensive mids. It is so easy to build up and create chances in this formation because you have so many players going forward and defensively. It's really the numerical advantage that your outside mids give you. Dest and Roberto Carlos going forward creates about like 7 players going forward, and when they come back on defense, it creates like a 7 back. It's insane what this formation really does for you. Again, spraying it out wide to my left mid, and you can see Mbappe making the run in behind, and it's just so easy to get forward in this formation as you can see. Getting high pressed here, no problem. We have a numerical advantage somewhere around the field because most of my opponents will play a 4 back, and you have to be aware of that. If your opponent is playing a 4 back and you're playing a 3 back, there is a mismatch somewhere on the field. So for chance creation, we have it set to direct passing, and you're going to see it work at its finest right now. My opponent's defensive line being pushed back into their 6-yard box. I'm not sure how we missed that, but you see what it does for you. But let's take a look at this clip here. I want to show you guys when creating chances in 3-5-2, this is what you have to do. So I got the ball with Kakare, FIVERR, unmarked, all the time in the world. You're going to have that as well with your 2 defensive mids. But right now, the pass into Dembele, top of the box, is not on. But what you need to do, you can see Dest was with his arm up. I called him with an R1 trigger to check in for me because I needed to create a different angle to ultimately find my striker, because that's what we really want to do in this formation. Any formation to attack, you want to find your strikers to score. So in this case, you have to create a different angle, and that's what the 3-5-2 gives you. The right mids and left mids giving you a different angle, sort of like a triangle pattern of play to find my striker. As you can see, a different angle, I find Dest out wide, and we find Ousmane top of the box to score a goal. That's really all you have to do in the attack with this formation. Have some composure, but you can see if nothing's on, I cut it back and I find different angles to find my strikers in the end to score goals. With the direct passing on as well, you can see my opponent's defensive line pushed back into their 18 or 6-yard box. You can even have 1 or 2 passes if you want inside the box if you need. But let's take a look here again. Defensive mids finally finding that entry pass into one of my attackers. We find an extra pass. Those are key. Extra passes are key inside the box into Neymar there, and we score. One last clip. Composure here with the defensive mid. A bit of player lock action there. We find the entry pass from Dest to Roberto Carlos into Ousmane, and again, unlucky to not score, but very good chance creation clips here for you guys to see. For the rest of the offensive tactics, we have the width set to 50, very balanced, and the players in box set to 6. Get a lot of players, a lot of bodies in the box, as you saw there in those chance creating clips. And the corners and free kicks set to 1 each. Personal preference up to you guys if you want to change these. go ahead and do so. Moving on to the positioning now, guys. In the 3-5-2 formation, I recommend certain players that have to play in certain positions with certain qualities, because this 3-5-2 formation, you're going to have players who need to defend and attack. We'll get into that later, but right now, let's talk and start off with the striker positions. Now, of course, any striker position, you're going to want to have skill, dribbling, finishing, and of course, some pace on them. So that's up to you, whoever you like. And in center attacking mid position, guys, Neymar is a perfect candidate for this position. It's sort of like a third striker or a center forward. Obviously, he's center attacking mid, so he is almost like a center forward, but this guy here is going to make runs beyond your striker, as we'll see in some instructions clips later. But this guy here, make sure he has a finishing ability on him, some dribbling, and of course passing. Now onto the outside mids. Now here, you guys need to pay attention, because these outside mids, they're going to be like wing backs in a way. You're going to see that when they're defending, the 5-back is created naturally. You can't really do much about it. They create the 5-back, and they're going to have to put in some defensive work. I have 2 outside backs, but they can go forward, so that's a thing you could do too. If you want defenders that can kind of go forward, do that. Or if you want attackers that can sort of defend, you can do that as well. Or you can have a balance with a, let's say, Roberto Carlos and then a Messi on the other side, creating like a 4-back of pure defenders. It is up to you, personal preference, but make sure that you have at least one of them that can do defensive work. And the 2 defensive mids you guys saw, all they do is just dribble maybe 1 or 2 yards and create that entry pass into your strikers. They really control the game. So make sure you get players here, of course, good dribbling, good stamina, defensive work, because on the defensive side they have to work, and good passing as well. They don't need much pace. 70 pace might even be fine with this formation. And for the 3 center backs, guys, you can use an outside back who has center back qualities, like let's say a Kyle Walker, that new UCL card that dropped. You can go ahead and use that, but for the most part, center backs this year get the job done. Last year they didn't, but this is a new year, and center backs are 100% usable to use in the 3-back. Finally, moving on to the instructions now, starting off with the striker positions. Both of them are going to be set to stay forward and stay central. These guys here just have to be pinned on your opponent's 2 center backs, staying central, staying forward. And I'm going to show you guys right now what they do for you in game and what you have to find in these strikers. Your strikers being set to stay forward and stay central, that's exactly what they're going to do. Your center attacking mid in this case will go beyond them sometimes, but of course they stay central, they stay forward, and they go forward. As you saw there, those runs that they make. But in the chance creation side of the attack, in that top box area, that top box gameplay, these guys here, they're just going to be rotating. You see Dembele made a run behind, now Mbappe made a run behind, then they eventually show. Just wait and have some patience for that entry pass to find one of your strikers. They're going to be there. There's 2 of them working together side by side, one making a run, one checking in. As you see here, Mbappe checks in, Dembele made that run, and we almost score a goal. Now you can see here now, out wide to Dest, bit of composure. We're looking for one of our strikers. You see Dembele make that run in behind because of the direct passing tactic on him. Bit of composure now. Mbappe sort of showing here on the side. You find him, turn, find your other striker. You get a shot, it gets blocked. Now we're back into it. Defensive mids on it. Composure, composure, pull it back. Can we find an entry pass? Out wide, creating angles into our attacking mid. Can we find one of our strikers pulling off Ousmane Dembele? And of course it gets blocked again. But you can see with a bit of patience, you will definitely find those 2 strikers working hand in hand, side and side, eventually to score some goals. Your center attacking mid is going to be set to stay forward and get into box for cross. Now you guys saw in all the clips previously, the center attacking mid can go beyond your strikers. You can see he'll make runs from the midfield that are so effective and unmarked, sort of getting in between the lines in those little gaps to create. And we'll see right now in these clips what he really does for you in game with these instructions. Your center attacking mid is going to create a triangle with your 2 strikers. He's almost like a third striker, as I keep saying, and he really does create and dictate the attack. You can see here, he created like 3 passes there, still following up the play from behind, getting in on a goal. And again here, he's beyond the striker you just saw. Now he checks back in, and again in a spot beyond the striker to score a goal. This man here needs a finishing ability on him 100%, because he's going to get in front of goal almost more than your strikers, believe it or not. You can see here once again, bit of skill, and he bangs it far post. Now you can see here once again, he receives the ball. He's that link from the defensive mid to the striker. He's going to be sitting right there in the middle, turning, playing your strikers in behind, and getting it back eventually to have a bit of skill and score a goal. So your left mids and right mids are going to be set to come back on defense and get into box for cross. And the more attacking one, in this case, Serginho Dest. He's more attacking and he's faster. I have him set to get in behind. So one of your outside mids, whoever's more attacking or faster, have him set to get in behind. Of course, this guy here is going to run out of stamina way quicker than the other outside mid, but these guys here, they go forward and they defend. So let's take a look at what these guys do for you in game. So your left mids and right mids are going to be set to come back on defense for that proper defensive structure as we covered earlier, but let's take a look at them at a more attacking aspect. We can see Roberto Carlos making that solo run to create an assist for Neymar. Very, very well done by him. And you can see here, another option you can do or use with a right mid or left mid, a player lock, bringing them from the outside to the inside to get more involved, pretty much creating an assist there. I'll give him that. And let's take a look at Dest one more time. With that getting behind instruction, he is very aggressive going forward. You can see him offering, him wanting to be the extra attacking support man, run, whatever you want to call it. That's what he's going to do for you. Of course, the other left mid in this case will also get in behind and go forward. You can see Roberto Carlos doing the dirty work on the defensive side, winning the ball. And where is he now? going forward, and right now he's the highest attacker on their field. So these guys here are going to need a lot of stamina. They're going to go up and down. So both your defensive mids are going to be set to the same exact thing each: cover center, stay back while attacking, and cut passing lanes. These two guys here, even though they're set to stay back while attacking, you saw just how much they really contribute into the attack and in that top box gameplay, or that attacking third sense. You guys can see that they look for those entry passes. They're the ones who have the ball the most in the attack, and on the defensive side, they really just put in the work in the midfield, getting out to players and making it hard for your opponent to build up and create chances in your half. So let's take a look at what these guys do for you in game. So your defensive mids defensively is pretty self-explanatory. Just pick either one of them and get out to your opponent and make it very hard and annoying for them to break through the gaps in your defense. But let's take a look at them offensively now. What they do for you guys. Look at them, unmarked. When there's a bit of pressure on your attackers, you can always turn around and play it to them for a pressure relief option or pass, whatever you want to call it. Because look at the amount of time I have on the ball, the amount of space to find 1 of 5 of my attackers lined across the top of the 18 to find the entry pass to score a goal. Once again, take a look at this clip. The amount of time they have on the ball. A bit of pressure, we turn around, we find our center defensive mid, work it across, back and forth into my outside mid, checking in, and we create goal scoring opportunities. For the center backs and the goalkeeper instructions, I do not change a thing. If you want to change something for that goalkeeper instruction, go ahead and do so. Personal preference, up to you guys, but that's all I have for you guys today, this 3-5-2 formation. I hope you got some value from this video, because what I was showing you guys is in detail was how to attack with this and create goal scoring opportunities very easily with the numerical advantage you have in the attack and defensively. Those outside mids making it 7 attackers or 7 defenders throughout the whole game. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Other than that, guys, take care.